Hi there, welcome along to Group B in the Modus Super Series. The second night of action in this group, and the first night, well, it was brilliant from Bialecki, but it was unpredictable from the rest of the players. If you missed it, here's a reminder of what happened. Treble 17. Must be going for the ball. And he's taken it out, wow. For a 44, and he makes the most of it himself.
170.
Big number. Takes care of that. And takes care at 88. 18s. The ball for Bolts. Brilliant. At the progress of players. Paul Hogan, though, well known, and he's won that well with a fantastic check. Yeah, it wasn't maybe the night we were expecting. Let's hope it's a better night this evening. But it was a very good afternoon. And Scott Mitchell, well, you were watching the action yesterday in that group. Tommy Lishman and David Wazuski ended up getting the job done today.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Tommy, even back on Monday, really struggled for his first couple of games. And then he had this mammoth game where he just hit everything. And the rest of the week, he was on it until that one game to qualify from Group A. Then you think, you know, he was as low as he's been probably in darts after not managing to get into Group A or B after the way that he played. And I thought we could see him tail off, but no, how brilliant was he? Just lost the one game in the group and learnt the lessons, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 2-9 dart heroes from this week, both through to finals night. We're going to find out tonight who is going to join them. I'll talk about some of the runners and riders. David Evans, first off, it has emerged that he was a little bit unwell yesterday. We did think that, myself and Laura Turner in comms, and if he is, as he says, feeling better, then we're expecting much better from him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of those in this group that's quite capable of going through 4 out of 4 tonight. And if he was not quite well yesterday and he's feeling a lot better today, then that's good for him and hopefully good for us, and we'll see him at his best.
Absolutely. Looking to be one of the final 3 making it through to Saturday here at the Super Series. We've already seen Lee Cox, who hit one of those perfect legs, make it through from Group A. As we just mentioned, Tommy Lishman and David Wazuski qualifying from Group C this afternoon. Evans was the favourite to win Group B, but only one win along with Jordan Matthews and David Davies last night. Paul Hogan and Sebastian Bialecki in that group, Scott, sitting pretty going into this evening.
Yeah, well, they've gapped the rest, haven't they, for a bit and sort of guaranteed themselves a good shot of qualifying through. And, yeah, Seb probably only wants 1 win. Hogan probably needs 2, and it's down to the others to battle out that last spot.
Yeah, will qualify if he wins his first game, Seb. Paul will qualify if he wins 2. Maybe only needs 1, realistically. And he's a wily old campaigner, isn't he? I'm sure you've met him many times.
We've locked horns on a few occasions where we're good mates now, and obviously England teammates in the past, and he just keeps producing, doesn't he? He's king of the qualifiers back in the BDO days. He never used to get through on the circuit. He would go to the one-off qualifier and win that day, and I think 7 times in his 9 appearances he went through the qualifier. So he knows how to do it. He knows how to do it when things get nitty-gritty. He's been there before and seen it and bought the T-shirt.
Yep, he's in a very good position, having won 3 of his fixtures last night. Second place in the table behind the unbeaten Sebastian Bialecki. Are we going to suggest that it's a battle between 3 players to join Paul and Sebastian in going through?
Yeah, I think it is, to be fair. David Davies there is sitting pretty. We know that sometimes legs difference here can be as big as a point. So he's going to have to keep an eye on that. You'd say that he's probably the favourite. He's got 4 legs difference as an advantage, sat there in third, and he'll be wanting to maintain that. But unfortunately, you can't come here and play safe. You've got to come here and really go for it and win the games and put the points on the other end.
Absolutely. Well, in terms of how the bookies are seeing it, Sebastian Bialecki, obviously an odds-on favourite to win the group, but it's interesting that they've kind of gone with you in that battle between the remaining players. David Davies at 16-1. Big prices for the others. That's maybe a reaction to David Evans being out of sorts last night, and Jordan Matthews, from what I've heard, didn't show what he can do.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know a lot about Jordan. I know that he's up from Duz's neck of the woods, and I haven't seen him for a while, so don't know what he's playing like at the minute. But yeah, that's 66 to 1 that's a bit of value, isn't it, tonight? Because if Davies feeding well, we know that he's up around that mid-90 average all the time when he's on it. So yeah, I think that's the value on that lot.
Yeah, we will see. In terms of those prices, they are the prices to win the group. Of course, the top 3 will qualify. If you are going to have a bet, please gamble responsibly. It's 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org for all the information on safer gambling. And for anybody else to win the group, Sebastian Bialecki is going to have a bit of a capitulation this evening after a very good start to his campaign last night. And I reflected on that and previewed this evening with him a little earlier. Sebastian, first of all, just tell us about last night. You won all of your matches. Must have been really pleased with that.
Yeah, last night was incredible for me. It's after first 3 days was just Group A's roller coaster. It's everyone was can be to advance to Group B or to be on the top. But yesterday I was just came here. Just relaxed and confidence, yeah, okay, and little bit maybe lucky to on the doubles. My opponents just missed and I hit it. So I'm really happy to win every match.
Does it make it harder when your opponent's not playing as well as they can?
Maybe yeah, but for me it doesn't matter. Just focus on my game and. For me, it was really good. And
how important would it be for you to win another one of these on Saturday night? Because you've done it before, obviously, but to come back and do it and get to Champions Week again, what would that mean to you and the people watching back home?
For me, it's another great success to win this win a week and try to. Maybe this time won a Champions Week, so we will see what happened today and tomorrow. Maybe if I advanced.
1 win away from finals night. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yep, he could book his place at finals night at the end of this opening encounter. Sebastian Bialecki up against David Davies, and a victory for the Pole will see him put his name in the lineup for Saturday at the Super Series once again, having won before. The 20-year-old from Poland, former quarter-finalist at the UK Open, looking to not only do that again, but interestingly, he was already talking about winning a Champions Week. That's confidence for you. David Davies, though, he's got his work cut out. The bookies see him as the most likely player to finish in 3rd place. He does occupy that spot at the moment, but defeat here, and then the initiative is handed to Jordan Matthews and David Evans behind him. But what I will say, Scott, is that he does play in 2 of the first 3 matches, and David Davies may have to make his bidding early this evening.
Yeah, I mean, I found that, Murph, when I play Group B, you know, the games do pass you by so quickly.
First
and
leg,
before you know it, you think, oh yeah,
first.
I can catch up here. I can, you know, gain some ground. But as you quite rightly say, then you're off, and then you're on again, and before you know it, you've only got 2 games left, and everything's got away from you.
134.
Well, no sign that he's going to slip the standard from yesterday with that opening gambit.
Well, this corresponding fixture was the last
60.
game yesterday, and Bialecki won it with a 98 average. And David Davies had a 90 plus as well, so I'm expecting a few fireworks here.
Well, it was the best game of the night, and that's quite a rare thing in an evening session here at the Super Series. Well past 1 in the morning UK time, and suddenly both players picked their game up. Had Davies put in that performance against any other player, he would have probably beaten them.
Yeah, without doubt. Without doubt.
$140.
I've been impressed with Seb this week. Things didn't quite go his way in Group A. I think he expected a little more of himself, and it didn't kind of happen. He wasn't so sharp out of the blocks and everything, and he ended sort of like the last day and a half in Group A so well to get himself to Group B.
Sebastian Bialecki.
And he's taken confidence from those last few games on Wednesday, and he's brought that
Second
into
leg, it's David to throw
last
first.
night. Done his 4
Game
out
on.
of 4, and now started really nicely here.
Yeah, 11 dart leg to kick off proceedings. Can't get much better than that. Slightly better than that you can
58.
get, and we've seen that a couple of times this week, of course. 9 dart finishers in back-to-back games earlier this week.
Yeah, absolutely amazing to be able to commentate on as well.
60.
Yeah, it was a historic moment here at the Super Series.
Both of those players through, of course. Lee Cox and now Tommy Lishman, who made it through this afternoon. But spare a thought for Robert Thornton, who actually missed a dart to win Group A and ended up not making it through Group C.
No, I mean that was kind of horrendous for Robert.
60.
He really, that one was really a kick in the teeth for him. I spoke to him after the session finished on Wednesday and missed a dart to win the group and ended up 4th, I think.
100.
And it's not just about missing the dart and being upset to win the group to go to the Saturday night. It's the financial implications of finishing top of the group to 4th in the group are
100.
quite vast. So, there was a bit of that once it's happened. You're not thinking of that when you're up there playing, that's for sure. But once it's done, you think, oh, I've put myself in the position and sort of let
92.
myself down a bit. So I know Wednesday night after Wednesday afternoon after the session, he was really down, and I don't think I've ever seen Robert like that.
Yeah, maybe
58.
hung over a little bit. He's heading back to Scotland.
123.
If Sebastian Bialecki wins this game, he'll be heading through. He'll have 3 games to spare. All his jobs will be done straight away.
83.
Nice work there from David Davies, though, to set up tops for his return. That's the bad dart, isn't it, for Bialecki?
39.
Often
David
it's
to
that
require 40.
5 segment that's found. His darts do sort of kick over as well.
Gabe Sharner's second leg. David
He does
Davies.
stand slightly to the right, doesn't he, when he throws? He doesn't stand
Third
spot on
leg. It's
central, I
Sebastian to
don't
throw
think.
first.
So he's
Game
kind
on.
of throwing across the target anyway. I always think if you stand right or left of the target, you're narrowing the distance, the width of
85.
the segment, the scoring segment you're trying to aim at. And of course, you're throwing from a little bit further distance because the oche, Bobby Jaws says to me one day, he said, I think the oche should be in a curve so that you put your,
100.
it should be a curved oche so that you're 7'9" and a bit all the way round in a half moon shape. And I suppose he has a point, but I remember back in the day watching some old 70s darts, you had to stand in the box. You had to stand in it had the oche along the front and it had 2 side pieces that came back and you had to stand in that 3-foot section.
Yeah, I've heard that argument go around a few times.
85.
A player like Bialecki is throwing from slightly further away at some targets than others and further away from his opponent, who might stand central.
140.
But he got that right. Yeah, Davis pretty central, isn't he, in his approach? And even the way he sort of draws the dart back, it's right to the middle of his face, where you do see some players that'll sort of go to the shoulder.
Yeah, that camera shot just about showed you exactly how Seb. And the ironic thing is, he does come to the middle then to throw
59.
other darts when it's blocked. So, yeah, there you go.
Central on approach, but then slightly leans to the right as he gets to the oche. But he's getting this right.
180.
And that can be all
Sebastian
sorts of
require
reasons why there's a
117.
slight lean to the right or whatever. It could be to do with eyes mainly, I find. Most people have got one
45.
eye slightly
David
stronger
require
than
36.
the other in vision.
Well, in terms of this game, Bialecki started it with an 11 dart leg. Davis hit back is that the only chance he gets to break
28.
Bolt here?
Sebastian, you require
Big moment that,
72.
not just in this match, but in this group.
And this is where Seb has been good. He's been picking up these chances when his opponents missed.
Game shot on a third leg. Sebastian Bialecki.
Exactly what he's done.
Fourth leg. It's
As
David to throw
highlighted
first. Game on.
With a perfect record thus far in this game. Davies missing 4 attempts. Last night, Sebastian Bialecki was running
92.
at 40%. That was way, way above anybody else in this group. David Davies was actually the best of the rest at 31.
Most players are happy around that 33% mark. You know, that's one with every 3 darts. So we'd all be extremely happy if we walked to the board with 3 darts in our hand at double top and we hit it with one of the 3. We'd be over the moon with that.
Yeah, just really don't draw any conclusions from last night because Davies wasn't at the standard we've seen from him before. Jordan Matthews, a newbie at the Super Series, had an average just over 70 for the night, but missed
57.
37 double attempts from 44. That's missed 37 from 44. That's remarkable. If he gets the doubles hit early, suddenly he's sticking 10-15 points on his averages and he's at the other end of the table.
Yeah, immediately, absolutely. And that's those missed darts at double can just absolutely destroy an average. And then they destroy you until you get a bit older and you realise that
132.
I was playing okay there. I just missed a few at a double, and that's why I've ended up at the wrong end of the table.
We are getting a similar standard here from David Davies to that which he produced against
82.
Bialecki last night. It was the best game, this, of the 10 on night 1 of Group B, and it might be the best to kick off night 2.
60. David, you require 50.
Yeah, David Davies, a Welsh international as well.
$10. $60. David, you require 40.
Immediate pressure on this 40 from Davies.
Game shot on a 4th leg. David Davies.
It's funny how they go when that sometimes happens. Had
5th leg.
Bialecki
It's Sebastian
managed
to
to
throw
get
first.
under
on.
100, there'd have been a little bit of worry there. Having missed a couple of at the earlier leg when he should have won it.
40.
Starts to get into your mind and you start thinking about it.
Yeah, and if he is defeated here by Davies, then it just delays that confirmation for Sebastian of being through to finals night. Would have to wait
55.
till at least game 4 when he meets David Evans.
It'll do David Davies a big favour because obviously he won't be in deficit on the legs difference through this game. He will be a little bit better off.
100.
And he's going to play one of his rivals in his second game in Jordan Matthews. So if everything goes well here for David Davies, he could actually be joining Paul Hogan on 6 points
100.
in the space of about 40 minutes or so.
$81.
Group A was an absolute stonker this week and more or less went down to the last dart of the group, and all 3 of the last block of games had something on them. It was
43.
wasn't just all about the 9 darters this week. There were 170s, there were everything. It was such a tight group.
The lineup for next week's Group A is certainly going to rival it. Many think it's the best Group A we've ever witnessed.
108.
On paper. On the board here, though, Sebastian Bialecki still digging deep, producing the goods.
I was just about to say we don't play on paper
95.
these days, but
Sebastian, you require
when I remember
100.
there were paper boards back in the day.
No need to go for tops, or maybe there was a need to go for it because he
40.
Ended up with a bit of a Matthews there, didn't he? One on the floor. If you missed that last night, Jordan Matthews had
100.
a lot of darts that
Sebastian, you require 60.
fell out or bounced out of the board. And I believe he's been doing something about it today. Can David Davies do something about this?
108.
Yeah, that is the thing. We're going up there. You have to stay straight. You think it in your mind before you throw your first dart. Stay straight, stay straight, stay straight. And ultimately, you don't.
22. Sebastian, you require 20. Game shot on the 5th leg. Sebastian Bialecki. Sixth leg. It's David to throw first. Game on.
Davis needing a good start here. Sort of got himself a little
45.
blocker to start off. And then had to chase around the houses. Didn't quite find desired trebles. And that was
100.
music to Seb's ears. He replies with a treble 20 of his own. And unless Davis hits here, the throw has been
60.
turned at the first attempt.
Yeah, he's put up a good fight here, Davis, but if he loses a game, there's a lot of pressure on him. He knows that he could find himself chasing.
140.
If Bialecki wins this leg or the next one, he will qualify. Alongside Lee Cox, Tommy Lishman, both of them have hit 9 darters this week. And
100.
David Wazowski.
Yeah, Wazzy impressed me yesterday. Started really well and kept the momentum up for the whole
140.
duration of
Sebastian, you
yesterday in
require
Group C.
164.
Set himself up for the qualification he achieved today.
Well, London teammates, aren't they? Crafty Coxey and Wazzy. So
84.
maybe Portsmouth's
David, you
calling
require
for
116.
the Cockneys tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, we know that Lee Cox is bringing 1 or 2 with him.
60. Sebastian, you require 80.
Is this the moment for Super Sebastian to make it?
70.
But it's drifted, and he's
David, you
given
require
Davis
56.
another opportunity here.
Shooting 56 here for Davis would give Bialecki all sorts of headaches.
Flag, David Davies.
He knows he can't make mistakes now. He has to hold his own throat.
7th and final leg. It's
But
Sebastian to throw
his destiny's still in his own
Game on.
hands, and that's how you want it as a dart player.
Well, all of last night, every time a player did something like that against him, he immediately responded in the very next leg. But that's not the
45.
opening he would have hoped for.
And this is the dream start that David
140.
Davis would have dreamed of.
Well, they've been just as good as each other. It deserves a last leg decider.
132. $58.
Yeah, had to move out there. Treble 20, well and truly blocked.
84. $58.
In the balance. But one big visit will put the match in the palm of the hand of whoever hits that big visit.
100.
Yeah, well, Davies has got to be disappointed. He started with that 140 and then has had 2 troubleless visits. Now here he comes. Another 140.
140.
Was there an
Sebastian,
argument
you
to go
require
for the bull with the last
140.
start there? Leave himself on 100 if he hit the 25?
Yeah, I would say that's the way I may have gone. So a big safe single here for Bialecki, and that's what he
David, you
does.
require
So
105.
this 105, you have to start at the top.
Well, this could have been a 2-darter. In the end, he's going to need a... I was going to say he's going to need a third for the finish, but he's not going to get a dart at a double.
45.
And
Sebastian, you
Bialecki
require 40.
will take aim at tops to seal his Saturday spot.
Game shot and the match. Sebastian Bialecki.
And Sebastian Bialecki is through to finals night this week. The former winner on the Super Series stage. The pole makes it and will join the likes of Lee Cox, David Wazowski, Tommy Lishman, and there'll be another couple of players joining him from this group. But he's earned it. He's won all 5 of his matches so far, and with 3 to spare, Bialecki is the first player through from Group B. Paul Hogan pretty much knows he probably only needs 1 win as well. 2 would guarantee him a place at finals night, but victory against David Evans and he can be pretty much assured of a place there. We'll have that for you next.
So welcome back here to the Modus Super Series. It's Group B on its night 2, and if you've just joined us, you missed Sebastian Bialecki securing his Saturday night final spot with his win over David Davies. 4-3 it was in legs. But that means he is through to the Saturday night final. Now the game we bring you now is Paul Hogan against David Evans. Now, Hoagie probably could get away with one win, depending on how the results go. 2 wins would guarantee him through to the Saturday's finals night. Been around a while as old Hoagie. I see on the caption 60 years of age. Sorry, mate, I've missed one of your birthdays. You were 59 last I knew. And yeah, king of the
First
qualifiers
leg,
back in our
it's Paul to
BDO
throw first.
days. He would qualify for the Lakeside through the qualifiers more times than through the rankings. He was phenomenal at that. He's taken on David Evans. Now, David
81.
was a little bit out of sorts for himself last night, and we gather today that he was not well at all. But he feels fine today,
96.
and so he'll be looking to make an assault on that 3rd place, starting here by trying to break Paul Hogan's heart.
100.
Yeah, if you are going to come down to the Super Series on a Saturday night, don't ask David Evans for recommendations of where to go for your post-evening kebab.
140.
And if you do want to come, then all you got to do is scan that
140.
QR code. It'll take you straight to the booking page. £2 a ticket. Can't ask for better than that. And it's a great night, great atmosphere, intimate, personal. You'll get to rub shoulders with the players.
95.
And maybe even your good self, Scotty Dog.
Well, I'll be here, so yeah, I'm all happy with that. I don't mind rubbing shoulders with anybody.
60. David, you require 170.
Are we going to see a different David tonight?
98.
Already throwing
Only
with
require
much more purpose,
120.
much more freedom.
And that was a Goliath attempt there at the 170.
And much less perspiration. If you saw him last night, those who watched, he was sweating
82.
buckets and trying to
David
towel
requires
himself and fan
72.
himself down all night long. Double top he wants.
52. Paulie require 38. Game shot of first leg, Paul Hogan.
Hoagie that holds
Second leg, it's David to throw first.
despite that
Game on.
avalanche of excellence thrown at him by David Evans in the opening leg. Couldn't get the break.
100.
I've just been informed via X that both David Wazowski and Lee Cox are at the London Super League presentation
85.
tonight, and picture to prove it as well. I'm sure they'll be drumming up some travellers to come and cheer for them at the live lounge tomorrow.
Yeah, we're expecting a bit of a contingent in. I know Lee's brother Nick, and Nick had
60.
messaged me a big boosh. See you Saturday on Wednesday after Lee Cox had qualified. So we know there will be 1 or 2 in town.
60. $60. $121.
Paul Hogan himself mentioned that a few mates may be coming over if he qualifies. So don't waste time in booking
60.
tickets, because it might be a friends
Only
and family
require
affair if you
95.
don't secure yours now.
Hoagie disappointed with that. First start.
33. David, you require 136.
Nicely done. Double 8.
Game
Oh,
shot on
yes,
the
I do
second
believe
leg.
that
David
he's a lot
Evans.
better this evening.
Third leg, it's Paul to throw first. Game on.
Totally different. Completely different demeanour.
Hogan himself had a 148 last night and was the highest checkout of the evening against David Davies. So he would have appreciated
55.
that 136. Probably a little bit more if he'd have done it against somebody else.
$140.
David Davis back after this, and the outcome of this will tell him how much trouble he's in, really, because if Evans can win, then he moves out of the top 3. He takes on Jordan Matthews, does Davis.
140.
And Evans is going to be a handful tonight. You can see that already. But will it be too late for Stretch to claw his way back in?
100. $57. Paulie require 161.
Hoagie's not too far away from here. He's in Basingstoke, isn't he? So likelihood he'll bring a few down with him would be nice.
60.
Right. Sebastian Bialecki already through. Don't think many will be hopping over from Poland, but you never know.
57.
If you'll be watching the
Paulie
Super
require
Series
101.
live stream, though. Great darting country, isn't it, Poland?
45.
Yes, I've actually been out to the Polish Open a couple of times, I think. And it's getting bigger and bigger out there.
80. Paulie require 56.
So Hoagie looking to regain control. That won't help. Wasting a dart. Doing anything he can to leave his favourite double.
38.
But only having one dart at
David,
it.
you require
And
112.
he couldn't find it.
Yeah, Hoagie doesn't usually make mistakes like that. That one you thought was sat absolutely pretty
56.
for Dave
Paulie
Evans
require
there.
18.
That first treble, but it wasn't to be.
Game shot on
But
a
if you're
third
good at double
leg,
18,
Paul
you have to
Hogan.
be good at double 9, don't you? Because you can't always hit it. Hoagie takes a 2-1 lead.
Fourth leg, it's David to throw first. Game on.
I'm sure Angela, his other half, will be watching
99.
somewhere. Hoagie's other half. Better half, I will say. That keep me in the good books.
Now, if you want to know how
95.
big darts he's getting, the Blackpool Tower was lit up tonight in the colours of Nathan Aspinall's shirt. Ahead of the World Match Play, which gets underway tomorrow.
125.
Any reason it was Aspinall's shirt?
A defending champion, isn't he?
Of
Return
course, yeah,
100.
of course.
in the Las Vegas of the North. Any thoughts on who you think will win that tournament? Or is it still all about that first round match between
70.
Van Gogh and Littler for now?
Yeah, I think the longer stretches suit Michael in that tournament without doubt. He likes the longer matches.
100.
But yeah, it's an intriguing draw there, isn't it? The Littler and MVG match-up.
56.
I'm sure when that game finishes and everybody goes and has a cup of tea or coffee after, the national grid is going to be pushed to the max while it's boiling kettles. It's just one of those games that everybody
140.
wants to watch.
David, you require 151.
Well, who will be illuminating the Super Series stage tonight.
93.
It's been a much more promising
All he
start than we
requires,
saw
66.
most of last night. The same players, but producing a different standard as we knew they could and hoped they would.
34.
Well, it's a miss. It's not a bad
Davies
miss,
require 58.
but it will be if Evans hits this, of course.
Yeah, you could see that going through his head. He was thinking he was only going to get one dart at it. Evans has been good on double 10
Game shot on a
this
4
week,
flag. David Evans.
and he's good again. So Hogan misses a chance to break.
5th flag. It's Paul to throw first.
Confirmation that we do have viewers in Poland. One of them's just got in touch via the chat room. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please do subscribe. It helps us to make the production
58.
as good as possible. Yeah, we're told watching from Poland while throwing some cheeky evening darts. I don't know what you mean by that. Is that good or bad? And I can confirm Poland is growing.
93.
We have amazing talents and the whole country is going crazy about this sport. And that's been reflected in it in the crowds that have been going to the events.
Yeah, very much so.
60.
I'm a big Speedway fan, and I know Speedway is huge in Poland, but when I've been out there for the couple of Polish Opens that I've been, the second one was had
100.
far greater entries in the first one, so I can totally understand what our live room chat fella is saying there.
And they'll be happy because not only is Sebastian Bialecki in pole position, but he's
100.
actually already past the checkered flag. He's lapping everyone now. Cornell asking how many 9 darters are there in the Modus Super Series?
76.
Well, 2 a day. He means not this week, but so far I think it's 12.
I believe we went through it on Tuesday. It's 12, yes.
92.
2 of them this week in the same day. 10 players have hit 9 darters. Of course, some have managed it more than once.
How greedy.
Steve West, who is on the road to recovery and coming back
59.
soon. And Conor Heenahan as well, of course, who hit the first 2 here.
Both of those two good top lads as well, Westy and
81.
Connor.
$133.
So to
Paulie
regain the
require
lead, but
110.
David Evans is poised here, can't afford a mistake. 90 left, so I imagine it'll be treble 18 with his love for double 18.
Game shot on a 5th flag. Paul Hogan.
And that's why they're old flames, reunited.
6th flag. It's David to throw first. Game on.
So he had a ton-topping checkout to that brilliant 136 we saw from Evans to get off the
59.
mark in this match. And it is decent darts today so far.
44.
I think we were looking to break here.
$134.
Nicely done from Evans. A good switch down to the treble 19s. Turned out to be very successful.
99. $44. 95.
Bit of lateral drift there for Hoagie into the treble 5. But still keeps him in touch.
140.
Evans has got the wind in his sails again with that 140.
39. David, you require 124. $88.
Good leave. And he's looking to really upset Paul Hogan here by having an
100.
affair with double
David, you
18.
require 36.
Declined his advances emphatically.
Score. Paulie require 124.
I've been stood behind him when he's done that, and he does absolutely berate himself. 62, isn't it?
78. David, you require 36.
So here he goes again.
Game shot on a 6
This time he
leg.
finds
David
it.
Evans.
Gets there for the second time of asking.
7th and final
And we go the
leg. It's
distance.
Paul to throw first. Game
Just
on.
as we did in the opening match of the night, and again, there could be a lot on it for both players here. If Hogan loses a leg and suddenly finds
42.
Evans 2 points behind him, then he's looking over his shoulder, isn't he? But if he wins the leg, he can put his feet up for the rest of the night.
100. $22.
He's throwing like he knows what he needs. In relation to where he is in the table.
96. $100.
Wafting his arms around in the air.
Evans might have enjoyed that last night. Would have cooled him down a bit.
95.
Yeah, certainly seeing a different David Evans tonight. And let's not forget, he was the favourite to win this group before a dart was thrown. So
55.
if he is back to full fitness, that is ominous for everybody else. Bialecki might be quite relieved that he's already got the job done.
Saturday night is the night to dominate. That for me.
60.
Saturday night's the night to be good.
Well, he wasn't overly happy with that score of 60, only on a big outside shot, but he is going to get at least
45.
2 goes.
David, you require
But cleaning it up.
150. $84. $140. David, you require 66.
So 48 left. Double 16 for the match.
34. Paulie require 97.
And Hogan's got an opportunity. He's got 2 darts. Evans looks to the heavens. And
Great
Hoagie
shot. And the
gives
match,
him hell.
Paul Hogan.
A 4-3 win for Paul Hogan that all but sees him through to finals night himself, and it leaves a much improved David Evans in no better position in the table. He still only has 2 points to his name as Paul Hogan's tally goes up to 8. That should be enough to see him qualify, and Sebastian Bialecki has already qualified, so the bottom 3 will battle it out effectively for the last spot up for grabs, and 2 of them are going toe-to-toe next when David Davies meets Jordan Matthews. Well, not an awful lot has changed in terms of position in the table after the first couple of matches. We do know Sebastian Bialecki is already through. We know that Paul Hogan is as good as through, but we really knew all that before a dart was thrown tonight. Something will change now for one of this pair. One of them will be in the box seat to be joining those two at finals night. Jordan Matthews and David Davies. Davies, of course, who we did see go down to Bialecki in a thriller of an opening match, 4-3. The Denby darter was beaten in the end. And Jordan Matthews, who had an unpredictable, entertaining evening on debut last night, won his first match, had a brilliant 87 checkout on the ball when he didn't need to go for it, played some decent stuff, missed a lot of doubles, and actually ended up with a lot of darts on the floor. And I believe, Scott, that he's been away sharpening his points today. That's been his business this afternoon.
Yeah, I think he's been and found a local dart shop and had his points changed, I think, during the day. So he said he was happier with what he's got and feels like he'll be all right tonight.
First leg, it's David to throw
He
first.
did have one, not something I'd want to do, changing my points during sort of mid-tournament, but there we go.
Yeah, the doubling was the big trouble for Matthews last night. Just 7 successful
95.
hits from 44 attempts. That's 16%. Needs to be of a higher standard than that. Did manage a couple of 180s. Might have had a couple more if the
24.
darts had stayed in the board. And that first checkout of the night, the 87, remained his highest. It kind of all went downhill from there.
I did notice when I was watching last night, the exclusion zone
56.
doesn't mean a great deal to Jordan Matthews, and straight away he cut right across it there behind David
47.
Davies. He won't have noticed that he'd done it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's difficult for a referee to decide whether to mention or not, because if you do mention it, you're sort of drawing attention to the other player and maybe putting them off, but he does... It's not just his
100.
toes that are in there, is it? His heels are pretty much in the exclusion zone when his opponent's playing.
Yeah, it's,
39.
I find if I've never refereed a game like this in my life because I can't count fast enough and I panic, and when you make one mistake, you make 4. But yeah, to have to keep your eye on all that and the underarm darts when people are a little upset maybe when they
100.
miss a double or they let go of the dart when they've got their foot on the hockey and already halfway to the board. And
61.
yeah, us dart players don't
David,
make
you
life
require
easy for a referee at
150.
times.
Well, it's a sluggish start here from Matthews.
90.
And I'm sure he'll be feeling a lot of pressure tonight. More on that later, but first of all, we'll see if David Davies can
80.
put this 60
David, you
away.
require 60. $40.
Or not yet is the answer.
No, he has more time on his side than I think he gives credit for.
45. David, you require 20.
He's really not finding his range thus far.
Game shot on the first leg. David Davies. Second leg is Jordan
Yeah,
to throw
the
first.
pressure on Matthews
Game on.
tonight is not just about trying to qualify, but also it's his debut and he wants to put in a good display to put his
47.
his name in the minds of the organisers as to whether he'll be invited back or not.
Yeah, for me as a player, I don't think you can come here thinking like that. I think you've got to
100.
enjoy the moment and take the moment in of being invited at all. I think
140.
if you start thinking about being invited back and having to play a certain way, then I think that just puts another element of difficulty into the whole job.
I think if you watched his demeanour last night, the body language, he did enjoy it
81.
at the start. He was even smiling and shrugging off the bounce outs, but game by game, that enthusiasm seemed to wane, and again, opening
100.
tonight, he looks just to be a little more serious about the whole thing.
There's only so many kicks in the guts you can take before you get to the point where you go, do you know what, I'm getting fed up with this. And I think that was probably the situation for him last night.
128.
We know the Northeast is a real hotbed of darts, and I'm sure there's a certain amount of
60.
pressure that comes with that, with being a representative from that neck of the woods as well. And I'm sure others will
100.
come and
Jordan, you require
grace the live
154.
lounge stage from that area and find exactly the playing problem on debut.
94. David, you require 92.
Matthews waits anxiously.
Game shot on a second
Davies
leg.
punishes
Davies.
and doubles his lead here and puts himself in a very good position to get his first
Third
win of the
leg,
night.
it's David to throw first. Game on. $43.
Matthews there trying to G himself up, stood behind David Davies.
140.
It had the desired effect.
$140.
Well, it looks like a night that's going to be about these little battles between Davies, Evans and Matthews. And
123.
Davies is halfway to winning this one, but Matthews is not rolling over. Suddenly he's starting to find something. There's a couple of two treble turns on the bounce.
$25. $180.
Why stop at two? And you can get all three.
And they stayed in on this occasion.
Yeah, recommend that dart shop wherever it was, because it's done the trick.
95. Jordan, you require 58.
Well, what a leg this could be.
18.
And it's now Matthews' turn to have a little time in hand.
Did reference all those missed doubles last night. 37
58.
of them.
Jordan, you require 40.
He wants 40. He's now missed 40 darts at double in this group, and that tally is rising.
20. David, you require 140.
Just needs a safe one, because
100.
no guarantee
Jordan,
that
you
Matthews will
require
hit here. He
20.
has struggled in this department.
$15. David, you require 40.
He just says to himself, wow there. I don't think he was expecting to not be coming back without the leg on this occasion. A lot of head shaking from Matthews.
On a third leg, David Davies.
A lot of nodding from Davies. I believe Matthews needs to try and
Fourth flag, it's Jordan to throw first. Game on.
remain positive. It's hard when you're having those days where you could get down to the outer
55.
ring and you're just there forever trying to get out. It always feels worse when you're up there throwing than actually what it is. When you're watching, you always feel like you've had 37 darts at a double and
58.
it's probably only 5.
96.
Well, Jordan Matthews, he actually was invited off the back of losing in the final of 6 ADC qualifiers. 6 times he made it to the final. Eventually, that was enough to be noticed, but
100.
something that he was really trying to get to this, and now he's here. I just think we are seeing
27.
a little bit of nervousness.
It's not just nervousness. You just try so hard, and sometimes you just got to, just release that, not try quite so hard, and
36.
then you start sort of throwing with a bit more freedom, and when the freedom comes, so do the treble 20s.
83.
Just watching, I do think sometimes he could maybe take a little more care with his second and third darts. That the first one is always a little bit more measured than the others. It sometimes just seems to chuck. All about rhythm, isn't it, and repetition.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's at
100.
the stage in his darting life. He'll pop home and watch. He'll pop home and watch these back on YouTube and try and work out
84.
where it's kind of gone wrong for him. And I know I used to in my early days, used to watch my TV games back, and if you do it in quick succession, you can remember how you were feeling at the moment. If you leave it 3 weeks, you won't remember how you were feeling. So it's a good thing to do it straight away, because you've still got the memory of how you felt in your head.
96. David, you require
It's not over yet, but it could
114.
be after these 3 darts. And it would be the worst possible outcome for Jordan Matthews. Well, I don't know what the problem was there. I'm not an expert lip reader, but I think he said every time.
44. Jordan, you require 60.
Is there going to be extra time played in this match?
40.
Not if
David, you
Davies
require
has
70.
got anything to do with it. More misses for Matthews on the outer ring. That's 9 in the game now.
Game shot and the match.
David Davies
Davies.
demolishes Jordan Matthews in that one. A 4-0 success for the Welshman, who gets the job done, and in doing so really gives himself the advantage in that battle for third place in this group. Matthews, well, he didn't get his opportunities again, didn't he? Look at that, actually had more darts at double than David Davies did in that game, but missed a lot of them, and that has been his Achilles heel over the last couple of nights. David Evans is the man who needs to respond. The problem for him is he faces the unbeaten Sebastian Bialecki.
Well, welcome back to the Modus Super Series. We are playing Group B here this evening on day 2, and if you just joined us, you've just seen, or you just missed David Davies doing a bit of a 4-0 demolition job on Jordan Matthews, increasing his chances of claiming 3rd spot and a trip to finals night on Saturday tomorrow night. The game we have coming for you now is our table topper, Sebastian Bialecki. He's won the group now. He's on 5 out of 5 in this group. 4 wins last night.
First leg,
1 already
it's
this
David to
evening.
throw
He's
first.
guaranteed his place
Game
on
on.
Saturday night. And his opponent, David Evans, was not feeling particularly great last night. Was quite ill and seems to have recovered
100.
for this evening's matches, but he's one that's probably in the mix to try and challenge David Davies for that 3rd place. And if he's going to do that, you feel he's going to have to beat Bialecki here and now.
Yeah, really think he's going to have to, Scott, because having lost, even though it was 4-3,
85.
he did lose to Paul Hogan, didn't he, Evans? He was much better, but defeating his first 2 games, he might not be able to catch up. And then he's going to have that crucial game with David Davies
140.
in Game 6 tonight. I think you're right. I think Evans may have to be the first to beat Bialecki.
140.
And Seb's in a position to be able to throw a freedom here now. He knows he's qualified.
123.
He can throw with a bit of relaxation. Like he's rocking in an armchair. He's done the job already. He's safe through to Saturday night.
60. Sebastian, you require 58.
But there is a sort of question. You do want to go through top, don't you, so that you have the darts in your first match on the Saturday evening
18.
for winning
David, you
Group
require
B.
116.
Single here would leave Evans on tops.
96.
Wasn't too far
Sebastian,
away,
you
but
require 40.
this is for Bialecki to break.
Yeah, significant pressure from Bialecki to be down there in 12 darts on a double against the throw. Can he
20.
convert? And the answer is
David, you
no, not on
require
this
20.
occasion.
Sometimes you need that rub of the green. Has Evans got it? He was looking pretty green last night. But maybe
Dave shot on the first
he's
leg.
making
David
the most
Evans.
of the look. And I'll tell you what, the way he must have been feeling and the way he was playing to get out of the
Second
night with a
leg,
win
it's Sebastian to throw first.
under his belt
Game on.
might prove to be the difference.
It could be a very important win indeed.
He got that victory,
125.
David Evans, against David Davies as well. So one of those players that he's battling it out with to join Bialecki in qualifying. Also, while
60.
Bialecki is already through, maybe this could be a decent time to play him. Can you imagine it's difficult to keep up that sort of level of intense focus when you know that
85.
your job is already done?
Yeah, it's one of those. If you do win the game, you go, I will be. I've been winning all the games. If you do lose the game, you go back
100.
around and go, it didn't really matter to me anyway. I'm already through. So you can find yourself very much in the middle of the road with as regard to headspace.
However, no sign of it from him. He's playing really well.
180.
That's his second max of the match in as many legs.
This isn't the first coming together of these
95.
two this
Sebastian,
week. They've
you
actually
require
played each other
111.
4 times this week, and it is 3-1 at the moment.
79.
To the good for Bialecki. So he's 3-1 up on the week. They were 2-1 after the end of Group A, and obviously Bialecki
Sebastian, you
beat
require 32.
Dave Evans last night when he was feeling a little crook.
No score.
Again, a good time to miss with Evans back on 200.
60. Sebastian, you require 32. Game shot on the second leg. Sebastian Bialecki.
Manages to get that one and square up this game. Barring the last one, it's been a night of close encounters. 4-3 in beating David Davies. Bialecki qualified at that point, and 4-3 for Paul Hogan against this man. Before that 4-0 whitewash win for Davies against Matthews.
57.
I know Evans has changed equipment in recent times, and I spoke to him about that, and he's actually got up a gram on the barrel weight
100.
as well. I wonder if he's still getting used to that barrel weight, because sometimes that dart does drop under that treble 20 by a fair way, and I know
26.
people say, oh, you know, you pick up a gram or you see a gram on a set of scales or whatever, you think, and that's a gram, and that affects your weight. But when you've been throwing for so many years with a certain weight, and you
40.
go up a weight, even if it's 1 gram, it makes it very difficult to get used to. And we're seeing a lot of these darts that are just below the treble for David Evans, and I just wonder
96.
if that's the reasoning behind it.
I know he is pretty good pals with Stephen Bunting, who made a dramatic change to the weight of his darts, and it seemed to have paid off for him, doesn't it? It went up by
100.
33% in weight.
And then you've got Peter Wright, who goes up and down in weight like a fiddler's elbow. Weight, size, length, length
60.
of points, flights. Unbelievable. Yeah, he does it mid-match. He's done it against me, actually, at a Pro Tour. He was 2-0 up, wasn't quite happy how they were going, so he swapped the flight system. And I thought, I'm a bit long in the tooth. Here we go. I think he's not happy with what he's doing at 2-0 up, and I managed to get him to 2-2, and then he swapped again. And I managed to turn him over 6-3. He swapped about 3 or 4 times in one match.
96. David, you require 164.
Good leave by Sebastian. Evans throw under threat. This will be some way to hold on to it. The ball.
139. Sebastian, you require 40.
Feeling sick again, Scott.
He definitely had his tongue hanging out.
Game shot on the third leg. Sebastian Bialecki.
He said in his interview
Fourth
at the top of the
leg,
show,
Sebastian to throw
Sebastian, that he
first.
felt that
Game on.
1 or 2 had missed some doubles against him and gave him chances that he wasn't expecting, and he took them. As a dart
58.
player, you do sometimes do that to others and they take advantage, and sometimes they will do it for you to take advantage, and you just have to
77.
wait and have your rub of the green. You've got to be in it to win it. You've got to persist.
$180.
This is becoming a bit of a victory lap for Bialecki, who still has games against Matthews and Hogan to play.
96.
It must have the feeling of being
99.
4-0 up in the FA Cup final with 10 minutes to go.
$96.
4-0 up with 10 minutes to go, Scott. We can only dream. We can only dream.
Yeah, absolutely. I think being anything up 10 minutes to go would be very handy on Sunday evening. With Spain being the favourites, they are red hot favourites, and quite rightly so. 6 wins from 6 for them.
Well, that may... Whoa.
140. Sebastian, you require 36.
That's why you should look.
I'd have been more impressed if he took his glasses off and did it that way.
Sebastian Bialecki.
As a blind 180 with no glasses on, popped his glasses up on his head.
Fifth flag.
I haven't seen that here yet at the Super Series. Not that I'm trying to encourage it.
We saw Ivan Toney with a no-look penalty, didn't we? Never looked at the ball. But if the football is your viewing on Sunday, make sure
36.
that the darts is your viewing on Saturday. Super Series finals night getting underway. 7:30 p.m. featuring this man, Sebastian Bialecki, who has won on that stage before. 2 players have hit 9 dart finishes
59.
this week in Lee Cox and Tommy Lishman. David Wazowski, Cox's London teammate there as well. It looks like Paul Hogan will be. And then one of Evans, Matthews or Davies. That story yet to play out.
58.
Tickets available. You could be there as well. Just scan that code. Book your tickets for as little as £2 and come to the live lounge. It's becoming a
98.
bucket list item for darts fans. A visit to this venue.
$60.
And if you can't make it, then just make sure you are tuned in here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Don't miss a dart. And he doesn't miss with any of those darts.
180.
We've been waiting for one, and then, like a bus, 2 come along at once.
And he looked that time. The ball.
139. David, you require
Evans might get a go at the same
167.
target. The 164 couldn't go. Will the 167? No.
$43. Sebastian, you require 25. $17.
But this could be the shot
David,
of the
you
night.
require
If Evans hits this and then turns the game around, he'll look back on this one with fond memories.
Treble 18 for Bullseye now. Bullseye now.
99.
Oh, that is tight.
Sebastian, you require 8.
A narrow miss for David Evans. Who will now need
Sebastian
a great escape. Despite an improvement in health and in form, Evans is beaten for the second time in as many matches tonight and will need to win his last couple to qualify. I feel sure of that. He's going to have a massive, massive game with David Davies, and if he loses that, he'll be out when he plays next on this stage. Bialecki carries on his winning run, 6 from 6 now for the pole. Coming next, Jordan Matthews takes on Paul Hogan, who will qualify with victory in that game.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
They've both got the talent where they just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. What a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
Well, what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only
needs the one.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you saying about efficiency?
Game shot on the third leg. Reece
Is that
Robinson.
the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it.
Game shot.
And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Well, Smith is it
Darius
a
Labanowski.
9? A long time, and that clenched fist.
Game shot on the mark.
He gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Just like
Darius
that.
Labanowski.
only needs the one. And there you can see
So that she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great dive.
Shot on the first leg. Andreas
It's a
Harrison.
breaker throw for Andres Harrison.
Shot on the second leg. Dan Crabtree.
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 with fouls.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
On we go then. Jordan Matthews back on the hockey and in desperate need of victory. Paul Hogan, with victory, would secure his place at finals night. He's pretty much there anyway. But a win over Matthews here would make certain of it for the Basingstoke player. As for Jordan, he's come down from the northeast after some great performances in ADC tournaments up there, but hasn't really managed to showcase his stuff on the Super Series stage so far. Is still in with a chance and has to hold on to that.
First leg. It's Jordan to throw first. Game on. $59.
I mentioned Paul's better half, Angela. I can assure you,
140.
she's looking after the dog this evening.
What, you?
Far from here. No, not me. I'm here. I don't need looking after.
24.
Well, no, I do need looking after. You're absolutely right.
Well, we've all been looked after by Mrs. Mitchell this evening.
81.
Exceedingly good cake.
She'll be very pleased to hear that as well.
86.
There's a few pieces left. I'm sure that there'll be a way of making sure one or two don't go
26.
home on the journeys home hungry as we leave this evening.
99.
Well, it's been a piece of cake for Sebastian Bialecki so far. 6 wins from 6 for the 20-year-old Pole, who has qualified already from this group. Paul Hogan looking to join him by winning this game.
140.
And if Jordan Matthews loses his throw in the first leg, you start to fear the worst for him tonight, having been beaten 4-0 already.
Paulie require 114.
We
94.
spoke about it in his previous match, Scott, the excitement of getting here and the approach. But we have seen it very quickly. You realise how tough it is.
Paulie require
I think
20.
he's experiencing that now.
Yeah, and I think people think because this atmosphere here in the live lounge is an empty room during the week that it makes it
Game shot on a first
easier to
leg.
deal with, and I
Paul
can
Hogan.
assure you it actually sends it the other way. It absolutely highlights
Second
everything that
leg,
you're
it's Paul to
thinking in
throw
your head
first.
because you've
Game on.
you've got used to looking to that person away from the board and just they reassure you or whatever. None of that goes on here.
85.
It's me, myself, and I. You're up there, and you have to know what's going wrong. You can't be told by anybody off the board and away from the board because they're not here
66.
until you qualify on the Saturday night.
Yeah, it does breed tension, the big empty room, and then suddenly you've got to adapt for
59.
that Saturday with an audience in the arena.
It does change the whole concept of the evening. It really does, and it makes you realise when you get to that Saturday night that
140.
you know this is kind of the floor show. The build-up and the qualification is the part that's not the easy part, but
100.
it's the part that has to be done to be able to get to that Saturday night. And it's two different disciplines. It changes the whole discipline of the way
121.
it works. Hard to explain. All I can say is get yourself along to some of your qualifying tournaments and get yourself here. Then you'll experience it yourself.
Yeah, anybody can make it.
100.
The amateur dart circuit hold qualifiers in the UK and Europe. Do check out the ADC if you're looking for a pathway to
60.
play on the big stage in
Poorly
front of the
required,
cameras.
157.
In this one, Matthews trying to hit back. Hogan might be stopping him. But Jordan will get a look at the 114.
99. Jordan, you require 114.
Does he choose to stay there? He does. It was good
80.
thinking. You could see why he did
Poorly
it. It was
required,
perfect
58.
to follow the guide, to use the guide. But he couldn't find
Shot on a second
the
leg.
double
Paul
17, and
Hogan.
Hogan hits tops.
Well, I've got no problem with players going that way when they think there's only going to be a chance of one
Third
dart at
leg,
a
it's
double.
Jordan to throw
So if you're only
first.
going to get one dart at a
Game
double, you've got to get a dart at something. And
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't
Then in
matter.
tandem.
60.
But yeah, fully agree. Just again, though, if I'm going to give a real critique,
41.
just in layman's terms, just got the sense that he could have taken an extra second with the dart at the double 17. It's so quick to throw at it. He's maybe just not
44.
giving it the care and attention it needs.
That comes with experience as well, Murph, though, doesn't it?
100.
And no matter what happens here, people will say, oh, if you haven't won this or you haven't got to the Saturday, it's not a good experience. It is a good experience.
140.
It's adding to the experience that you have. It's all right playing in your local dog and duck league and doing this, that and the other when you're not under real amounts of
100.
pressure. When you come here, you have to learn how to deal with pressure. And I know everybody says pressure's for tyres, but no, there is pressure up there and you have to learn to deal with it. And the more times you put
177.
yourself in that position, the more chance you have of overcoming it.
Well, maybe he's showing that a little bit now. That's a very, very good couple of visits from Jordan Matthews.
100.
A 140 followed by a
Jordan, you require
177.
80.
But he went for the 16s. 56 remaining, so a single 16 now. Is he going to do it all in 8s?
$48. All you require 160.
You mentioned that word pressure. By missing that, what he's done is given Hogan a chance to put pressure on him.
80.
Wow.
Jordan, you require 32.
Well, that was an almighty Robin Hood shot, wasn't it? That flight must have been replaced pretty quickly.
No score. Paulie
I
require
have to say, before
80.
he went for that 160 Hogan, he looked like he really fancied that behind as well, while Matthew was making a bit of a pig's dinner of what he was doing. And now,
40.
ooh,
Jordan, you require
can't get
32.
any closer than other than in.
It's really struggling on doubles. Really, really struggling on the outer ring, Jordan Matthews.
16. Paulie require 40.
None tonight from 16 attempts.
20.
But he will
Jordan,
get more
you require
goes.
16.
Really needs to hit.
Game shot
he
of
has
third
hit.
leg, Jordan Matthews. Fourth flag, it's Paul to throw first. Game on.
Nice little bit of sportsmanship for Paul Hogan there to offer congratulations, and then nice little celebration
60.
from Matthews.
Yeah, it's nice. All the new guys know where the camera is. You can. It's another thing when you come to one of these things and you
80.
haven't been under the microscope so much. There's cameras at all angles here. You can't get away with anything. And that's another thing that
100.
takes a little bit of getting used to. I remember my first Lakeside with the camera is there to the left of the board. I remember it moving when I
99.
moved, and I remember you could see it all the time. And now you don't even know it's there. Now you've been on so many times, you get used to it.
121. $81. 60. 59. Paulie require 160.
The 160 left again, but won't be hit again.
60. 121. Paulie require 100.
Here we go then. How many times in
Game
his
shot of
darting
fourth
career has he
flag,
done this?
Paul Hogan.
I don't know how many times he has, but you can add another one to that number.
Fifth
That's a
flag.
nice
It's
little
Jordan to throw
click.
first. Game on.
And Hogan therefore a leg away from qualification.
137. 55. 87. 59.
Well, Matthews kicked off this leg with 137 and 87. That could have been a lot more than 87.
57.
Now allowing Hogan with a double treble visit here to haul himself back into the leg.
100. 95.
'Here he comes.
140.
Again,
Jordan,
just
you
putting
require
himself on the shoulder of
125.
Matthews. I rarely see a player start on a treble 20 and 125.
Yeah, usually the other way round.
85. Paulie require 147.
18 is the way you can start on the 125 as well. But treble 17 here for Hoagie.
$107.
So as that one
Jordan, you require
hit double
40.
helped Matthews get the monkey off his back. Maybe
Big
it
shot on the
has.
fifth flag, Jordan Matthews.
Lives to fight another day.
Sixth flag, it's Paul to throw first. Game on. $140.
Hogan the one throw, and throwing, of course, for a place at finals night. Hang on a minute. Here he comes.
108.
Jordan Matthews.
2.
Showing what he can do.
$81. 59. 82.
I was about to say Hogan needs to find a treble here. And he duly does. In the form of a treble 19.
59. 80. 135.
Plenty of pressure on Paul Hogan here.
118. 100. Jordan, you require 68.
Tops it is for Matthews then.
Game shot on a
And
sick
away
leg.
it
Jordan
goes.
Matthews.
Starting to really enjoy himself.
7th and final leg. It's Jordan to throw
I'm
first.
not sure Paul Hogan is.
Game on.
He's straight past David Evans in his opener tonight. And now at the point of ceiling qualification,
59.
he's let slip that huge lead he had.
Yeah, 59, that'll be music to Hoagie's ears.
140. 99. 60. 100.
'Hoagie needs another one of those.
100.
Well, in truth, it would be almost impossible for Paul Hogan not to qualify regardless of the result of this game. But he won't be feeling like that right now.
60.
He's thinking, I need this leg. Almost impossible is still not impossible, is it? He wants to make sure he is there.
65. 96. Paulie require 136. 92. Jordan, you
nice
require
pick up with the
87.
last to apply pressure on this 87 from Matthews. Big 20 was what he was after.
77. Paulie require 44.
I thought he might think about going for an 8 for that favourite double of his, but he's gone for double 16 instead.
12.
And he now might wish he hadn't.
Jordan, you require 10.
Clips the wire. One more go.
Game shot.
And Jordan
a match.
Matthews
Jordan
springs a
Matthews.
shock here. Paul Hogan had that match in the palm of his hand, and he had his place at finals night in the palm of his hand. When he led the game 3-1, but Matthews has bounced back with 3 successive legs to get the victory in that one, and he started to turn things around. Once he hit a double, then suddenly sharpened up in that department, and things are a little bit more interesting at the halfway point of the night, because Hogan isn't quite there yet, and Matthews has joined David Davies on 4 points. A huge, huge match coming up next when the two Davids duel on the dartboard.
waiting. Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
18 for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Skate.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable. Get match darts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Number 4 for the title.
Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is, Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Oh, Bosch.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
Welcome back. Halfway stage of the evening. We've got a big game coming up next, but let's start with the successful star of the night, Scott. That's Sebastian Bialecki, who's just gone about his work and got the job done early.
Yeah, absolutely. Did the hard work yesterday, and then he's just finished it off tonight. He knew that just the one was going to be enough with everybody sort of flailing around under him and beating each other. So, yeah, he's pleased, and he'll be thinking of Saturday night now already.
Yeah, only needed to win that first match to qualify. He's done that, went on to win another game as well. We will just recap what's happened so far this evening. Here are the results from tonight's first 5 matches. And David Evans, I think, has been the unfortunate one out of the players, going down 4-1 to Bialecki. But that defeat to Paul Hogan has given him an awful lot of work to do, and if he loses to David Davies in that next game, then that will see Evans, who was the favourite, eliminated.
Yeah, it's unfortunate he fell a bit ill last night, and I think that's probably caused him all the problems here in Group B.
Paul Hogan, almost there, but he will be bitterly disappointed not to be there after throwing away that lead in the previous match.
Yeah, he would have fancied his chances against Jordan Matthews the way that Jordan had been playing so far tonight. But yeah, just wasn't to beat.
Especially after getting over the line with this checkout against David Evans in his earlier game. I think he looks like he knows he got away with that one, but it then goes the other way for him. What did you make of Jordan Matthews in that game, though? Because something seemed to switch for him, didn't it?
Yeah, because he was 2-0 down early doors, and it was just like, do you know what? I think he just came to the point where he thought, I've done all the trying, I've done all the my arm being tight and everything. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to play like I do when I'm back in the Northeast. And yeah, he started to show some good stuff in the last couple of legs.
We thought it might come down to the matches between the 3 players in the bottom half of the table. We're going to see one of them next, but David Davies crucially won the game between himself and Matthews. Is it going to be about getting a win against Evans here? Do you think that'll be enough to see him through?
Yeah, probably. I think we didn't see the Matthews game. We didn't see that being as important when David Davies played Matthews. We didn't see that coming. So, maybe Matthews has got a bit of a bee in his bonnet now. He knows how to win up there, and he's got that one, and maybe he's going to win the next two. Who knows? But yeah, it's nice when it's been decided between yourselves and not by others. That's all you want as a player.
Well, let's just assess the situation in terms of the table. Bialecki through, Hogan as good as. Davies and Matthews both have 4 points. Evans has 2. So as we've just mentioned, the next match could see Evans eliminated. But if he wins it, then we're going to see all those 3 players on the same points, and that'll be a real grandstand finish.
Yeah, everybody down in the dungeon that helps us work out things all have the shoes and socks off, get the right amount of numbers out. Yeah, it's nice when it's like that, though. It is nice when it all comes down to the final few games, and that's what it could happen tonight.
Just a word from you, Scott, on next week's players, because we have got a fantastic lineup coming your way here at the Modus Super Series for Week 7. Cam Crabtree in there with Andy Bolt and Wesley Plaisir. They all reached the semis on the same day at Pro Tour. Plaisir making 2 finals in those events in Milton Keynes. Victor Tingstrom, a winner here before. Aidan Kirk, who almost won here, won a challenge tour. Jared Cole, 9-darter last time he was on that stage. And Clew Bevan, rapid talent. Scott Marsh also in Group C, along with a debutant, Adam Paxton. It really is a stellar showing, stellar lineup, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's one of those, we thought this week's Group A was tight. Looking at that one, wow. It has the potential to really go down to the last game, and that makes it interesting for us to chat about, and it makes it, they've got all the collywobbles to have to worry about. We don't have to do that up here in the commentary box.
Yeah, certainly don't. That is going to be a fantastic lineup for next week. Don't miss it. Week 7 here at the Modus Super Series.
Beating Storm. It's W18 to win the first match. Oh, yeah! Crabtree has got to go up with a single for the double. Beautiful check. That's really good times in the 30s and 90s, didn't it? This is good. Andy Bolton's back.
Game, shots, and the match!
Got a potential 9-darter.
Come on, Jared. Yes! Some way to win it. This would be an incredible way to win it. What a finish.
Visit from Davies, where he just scored all down, wasn't it?
Game shot at 4 flag.
It is certainly set to be one of the best weeks we have ever had here at the Modus Super Series, and the good days, the good games just keep on coming. Make sure you're tuned in. You might be looking for some sport to watch on Monday morning, and that gets underway from 9:30 here on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel. All you've got to do to make sure you don't miss it is subscribe and make sure your notifications are turned on. But now it's David Evans who's on notice tonight, because defeat here for Stretch would see him eliminated, and he was the favourite to win this group before a dart was thrown. It's a big match between the two Davids. If Davies wins it, he really tightens his hold on 3rd place, bearing in mind that in the following match Jordan Matthews takes on the unbeaten Sebastian Bialecki. But Evans has to win or it will be over for him this week.
First leg, it's David Davies to throw first.
Yeah, Stretch does not want to be down the final stretch in this game, does he?
$140.
By my maths as well, if David Evans were to win this game, I think that would secure Paul Hogan's place.
123.
Because Evans and Matthews have to play each other. Davies would only have 1 game left. Evans would only have 1 game left. So there wouldn't be enough players that could get to 8 points. And that's a little
100.
side story for the moment. We'll get confirmation of that for all the Crocodile Dundee fans
100.
that are watching tonight. But right now, it's about Evans trying to stay alive.
100. 59. David, you require 161.
Can stay there. Doesn't need to go for this with Evans back on 219.
99.
Just checking himself before he wrecks himself.
41. David, you require 62. $42.
It's a laboured start by David Evans in a match he must win. Davies looking to take full advantage.
50. David, you require 20.
So double 10 for Davies. Double 7 now. It's a bit high and handsome on the double 10.
13. David, you require 128.
So a dart ball then for an absolute steal for Evans.
103.
Not
David,
to
you
be.
require 7.
So David Davies has to tidy up this 7. It's all about the big number for me. Now it's about the double 2. You've got to hit that big number first.
On the
Nicely
first
done.
leg, David Davies.
Shouldn't have put himself through that pressure. But
Second
he did.
leg, it's
And he
David
will
Evans
take a little
to
bit
throw
from it.
first. Game on.
I can confirm that, by the way, what I said in the previous leg. If Evans were to win this match, it would secure Hogan's spot at finals night. But if Davies wins it, then
59.
Hogan can still have plenty to worry about. And he doesn't play again until he plays Davies, who
140.
at that point would only be 2 points behind him and could put him in the danger zone with victory there. And to make it even worse, I mean, it would be an amazing set of results if Hogan
100.
didn't qualify, but to make it worse, his last match is Sebastian Bialecki away. And by away, I mean Bialecki has the darts in that one.
60. $60.
Pretty sure that they know how big this game is, Scott, because you can almost feel the tension.
100.
Yeah, they're playing each other rather than getting on and playing the board, aren't they? It's a little bit like beat the score of your
95.
opponent. That's what it seems like.
$137.
Good pick up there from Davies.
$58.
Desperately needed a
David,
treble
you require
visit there.
64.
So it's Davies. 8 for double top.
Game shot on his second leg.
Evans seemed to
David
know where it
Davies.
was going, and I think he knows where he's going as well. You've always got a chance in this group
Third
going into the
leg, it's
second
David
night,
Davies
but
to throw first.
that
Game
chance is disappearing quickly.
$39.
Tell you what, as well, Scott, we questioned the wisdom of the odds compilers when David Davies was 16-1 to win this group. We know he's not going to win it, but David Evans was 66 on the same
43.
points. They fancied Davies to get third place, and so far they're going to be right.
$89. $97.
Just watching Evans in the background shaking his head with every good dart that David Davies throws.
$58.
And this picture, as we look at David Evans on the brink of elimination, just tells you a story about how important it is to get the job done in Group A, because Evans was second in that group. He's about to be eliminated. Robert Thornton missed a dart to win that group. He was eliminated this afternoon. You are not safe by falling into Group B.
Yeah, just because you've done well in one group, that doesn't mean to say you're going to drop into another group and do well. You're a target then, because everybody keeps an eye on it. And when you drop into their group, they will be savage against you.
Getting really angry
94.
behind Davies there. Evans was almost punching himself in the head.
$85. David, you require 56.
So 16 for tops is his preferred route.
Game shot on
that's
the
exactly
third leg.
why
David Davies.
David Davies knows he's doing himself a massive favour
Fourth
here.
leg. It's David Evans to throw first. Game on.
Does have that knack of getting through, doesn't he, David Davies? We've seen it many times. And it doesn't really matter how you do it. He's done it in P1, he's done it in P3 from a Group
60.
B. All about getting to Saturday, and that's then when it matters.
$56. $93.
Are you fluent in Lancastrian? What did he say?
Throw the dart.
I mean, it's good advice. Not sure what he's saying now, but he's not stopping the mimes and the mutterings.
He's just disappointed, I think. He knows that the writing is on the wall.
60.
He's going to have to dig into his pocket and find the bus fare home.
58.
Well, everyone's been talking about coming home, haven't they, this
100.
week? And that's the text that David Evans will be sending at the end of this match, unfortunately for him.
$100.
He's really slowed it down as well, taking care.
140.
Probably thinking, why now?
David, you require 150.
Why so late? But better late than never. Or does it even matter? It may not matter.
132. David, you require 48.
What a moment that would have been. What a way it would have been to win it.
Game shot on a
And
full
once
flag.
again, what
David
this
Evans.
bunch of players have done this week is hang in with an intensity.
Fifth flag. It's David Davies to throw
They
first.
give nothing up.
Game on.
We've seen Evans berating himself behind David Davis's back there, and
100.
Davis just wants to get the job done, but Evans will not go away. And here we go again.
140. $45. $100.
I could say Evans has got a little bit of momentum here. But 3-1 down, he can't afford another mistake.
56.
Well, we saw the previous game turn on its head, didn't we, between Matthews and Hogan?
$60.
Oh, we're going to see something similar here, an even bigger comeback it would be.
$95. $139.
So Evans continues to find his mojo.
65. David, you require 62.
62 after 12. Is he going treble 10 route? Yes, he is. He's missed the big number.
22. David, you require 140. $100. David, you require 40.
To stay alive.
Game shot on the fifth flag. David Evans.
Still fighting.
He's still alive, oh here, Evans. Now
Sixth
he
flag.
has the
It's
darts
David
in
Evans
this
to throw
one.
first. Game on.
David Davis had to be thinking at 3-0. He was more or less home and dry.
100. $98.
Big little spell in the evening to see who will be going through. We're going to see Jordan Matthews and Sebastian
100.
Bialecki next. Of course, Bialecki already through. Matthews is on 4 points. David Davis is on 4 points, but we'll go to 6 if he gets a win here. But if Evans wins, there'll be 3 on 4 points.
83.
Hogan at that stage would be through. But if he's not through, he's then got to take on David Davis in his next game.
100. $140.
That really just to stay in touch with Evans.
100. $43. David, you require 101. $69. David, you require 137.
Now Davis for the match. Not going to go this time. Needed to stay straight.
41. David, you require 32.
Has he managed to pull himself up off the canvas here? I think he thought that was in. Has to resettle, refocus.
Game shot on his 6th leg. David
And
Evans.
he's levelled the match. He has levelled the match from 3-0 down.
7th and final leg. It's David Davies to throw first.
Here's Evans
Game on.
pulling the proverbial rabbit out of the hat here.
Looked a little menacing there, didn't he? And he is proving to be a pest for David Davies.
100.
Oh, I thought you had a stone in his shoe.
There's that low dart that he was struggling with yesterday and earlier tonight.
57.
And the pressure's on. He comes up dry. Opening turn.
$77. $57.
So Davis 60 in front plus these.
60. $93.
Was in the situation where he had to find something.
David Davies will get another chance. For David Evans, this is do or die.
100. $98. David, you
And
require
he's handed 2 visits now to
164.
Davies here to put him away.
$83. $100. David, you require 81.
Okay, interesting play. Getting rid of the need to go for the bull at the end of the combo. He takes it out at the start.
71.
But he can't find the double to finish.
you
So
require
David Evans from
96.
3-0 behind has a chance to win this match and in doing so keep himself in contention.
Game shot and the match. David Evans.
Well, good Evans. He's done it. What a turnaround. David Davies will be bitterly disappointed after that one, squandering a 3-leg advantage, and that victory for David Evans keeps his hopes alive, and in victory he actually sends Paul Hogan through. Hogan is through. He joins Sebastian Bialecki, who's already won this group. Hogan in 2nd place. That win for Evans, enough to send him through, but look at the 3 players behind him. David Davies, Jordan Matthews and David Evans, all on 4 points. One of them will be going through to finals night. Stay tuned to find out who.
And welcome back to the Super Series. If you just joined us, you missed a bit of a tungsten tussle between David Evans and David Davies. And Evans came from 3-0 down to win 4-3 and keep his hopes alive of qualifying for Saturday's finals night. But in doing so, winning that match, he's guaranteed Paul Hogan a place in the Saturday night finals. So coming up now, we have Sebastian Bialecki taking on Jordan Matthews. Now, Jordan Matthews has to win to keep his hopes alive.
First leg, it's Jordan to throw
to be
first.
going to Saturday night.
Game on.
He has the darts in this match and he'll be looking to take advantage of that. And
99.
Table, it's not that he's playing anybody that's lost a game in this group. He's playing the table topper who guaranteed his place in the Saturday night final
92.
after game 1 and a win over David Davies. So he's thrown with a bit of freedom and kind of going through
59.
the motions a little, whereas Jordan Matthews is battling for his Saturday night survival.
If Jordan Matthews, though, can win this game, he suddenly finds himself
85.
in the best spot because this is a game in hand for him over the two Davids.
80.
Victory here puts him on 6 points, and they've only got one game between them. In fact, David Evans' remaining game is against Jordan Matthews, whereas David Davies has to play Paul Hogan. That's going to be
58.
coming up after this one. The big thing in
57.
David Davis's favour is the fact that his leg difference is 0. -9 Matthews, -10 Evans.
$140. $58. Sebastian, you require 126.
We'll start on the 19s. He'll stay there. That leaves the bullseye.
Game shot on
And
a
that
first
is the
leg.
bullseye. That
Sebastian
red bit in the middle
Bialecki.
there that he's just hit. What a shot that was. Another ton.
Second leg, it's
shot
Sebastian
out
to throw
goes tonight.
first.
That's
Game
number
on.
4.
$85.
Another 3-ton shot out
48.
tonight. 2 have gone in the way of Paul Hogan. 110 and 100, and 1 in the way of David Evans, a 136. I have to say, he did impress from
96.
3-0 down in that last game with all the tension and all the nerves that were on that game for him to keep
41.
himself alive. It was like he just threw caution to the wind.
140. $60.
Well, he was shuffling around trying to find some way into that treble 20.
He's dancing along the hockey.
$135.
Once again this evening, Seb finds himself
63. Sebastian,
on
you
double
require
digits
45.
after 12 darts. 13 for double 16 is his
Game
desired
shot on a
route, and
second
that's
leg.
the reason
Sebastian
why.
Bialecki. Third leg, it's Jordan to throw first. Game on.
Well, we said, would he lose that little bit of intensity after qualifying so early in the night? In fact, he's
59.
got better, hasn't he, Sebastian Bialecki?
Yeah, well, there's no pressure on any of these matches now, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful
96.
way. I know I've approached this subject with Matthew Edgar. He's into all the mind side of the darting
59.
game, and he says, you know, the reason when you're practicing you go 140, 140, 100 out, whatever, it's because you're under no pressure. You're playing nobody. You're just doing it at home. There's nobody
58.
stood behind you. When you think about it, you probably are. You're thrown with that freedom, no pressure on you. Arm doesn't
58.
go tight. You're not thinking of anything or anybody else. You're just doing your thing, and that's probably why you play better at home than you come out and play in a league game, and it's not quite the same.
140.
Yeah, Matthews has his work cut out, of course. He's not playing particularly well in this game, and Bialecki is, but has a chance in this leg to halve the deficit, and we saw him turn things around in his previous game from a similar position.
59. Sebastian, you require 148. $100. Jordan, you require 126. $60. Sebastian, you require 48.
Double 16 route again. His preferred route. And that's the reason why
leg, Sebastian Bialecki.
he takes a 3-0 lead and now has the darts.
Fourth leg, it's Sebastian to throw first.
Fourth leg. A lot of fist pumping going on here between legs, but
I think he's finding out it's tough going at the big school, isn't it?
135.
And there must be a lot of players that are the man or one of the men at their local events. Pretty dominant, win plenty. But then when you go somewhere else, you get the best players from other local areas or other countries in Sebastian's case, and you find maybe it's a different level totally.
120.
As far as tonight's concerned, 7 matches, including this one, and if Bialecki does
58.
win this, it'll be 3 wins for him and 1 for everybody else. Just shows how dominant he's been in this group.
140. $58. Sebastian, you require 106. $50.
Matthews back on 2, 4, 5. Trying to leave some sort of pressure in that last
Sebastian,
dart.
you require 56.
Has left him on a bogey.
$36.
Almost frustratingly, he does come back.
And usually you hit 2 trebles when you come back when you leave a bogey.
46. Sebastian, you require 20.
Double 10 for Sebastian Bialecki. 2 5s. Just has a look where his opponent is. You've got to go for it, Seb.
10. Jordan, you require
Well, hasn't had
116.
much trouble closing games out, but he's having a little bother with this one. Still possible, 107. Meaning treble 19 would give him a shot at the ball.
$48. Sebastian, you require
Surely
10.
now, Bialecki puts him away. Double 2.
6.
Still a chance for Jordan Matthews.
Jordan, you require 68.
One of those situations. Bullseye coming in.
43.
Almost.
Sebastian, you require 4.
For the third time of asking. Double one now.
Game
Rather
shot,
limps over the line is
Sebastian
our
Bialecki.
table topper. That's his seventh game on the bounce. Very sporting kiss on the top of the head there from Jordan Matthews for Sebastian. As you can see, Sebastian there, 85. He was running much higher than that. Just that last leg affected that average, but you've got time to put the cat out. We're going to a short break, and when we come back, we will have Paul Hogan versus David Davies.
Well, David Davies knows the task ahead of him here. Third in the table at the moment, but must win or will be out. That's because the bottom two, David Evans and Jordan Matthews, both on the same 4-point tally as Davies, play each other in the game that follows this one. So if Davies loses this game, he cannot qualify, but if he wins the game, he will qualify, as neither of those players could catch him because their leg difference is so poor. So even
first leg,
victory,
it's Paul to throw first
in that match
Game
will
on.
not be enough for either Evans or Matthews. So, well, at least he knows it's in his hands. Win and you're in. Effectively a knockout game for him, but he's playing a dangerous Paul Hogan,
85.
who is safe and secure at Saturday's finals night.
$108.
That's a good start for Davies.
$85.
Yeah, looking to seal everything here. Evans and Matthews really will be cheering for Hogan in the
82.
back room. And it just shows about Group B, doesn't it? You can get away with it. Both of those players will admit they've been nowhere near the standard required to qualify. Yeah, if Davies loses this game, one of them will definitely qualify.
No, it's quite a strange one, this one. This has been quite a strange group indeed. Bialecki running away with it, and then at the other end, just an absolute tussle.
And there's no doubt, really, when you look at it statistically, that David Davies has been the best of that trio. That's why he's on a 0 leg difference, and they're well down in the minus
62.
teens. But he hasn't converted it to wins, has he, enough? Can he convert this for a flying start to this game? 8-8 for a dozen data.
46.
Can't quite manage it, and now Hogan gets a go at 133.
$93. David, you require 16.
Scoring's been spectacular in this leg from David Davies, but the doubling lets him down. He cannot believe he's put himself in such a promising position only to let it go. Double 10.
30.
More opportunities for the
David,
Welshman.
You require 8.
And I have to say, Scott, I'm slightly surprised to see that Paul Hogan chose to leave tops then when he could have left. Double 18.
Game shot on the first leg. David Davies.
It's on the 7th time of asking.
Second leg. It's David to
Davies
throw first. Game
finally
on.
checks out the double.
$100. $60. $92. $55.
Paul Hogan knows he's safe. We mentioned it in relation to Sebastian Bialecki. Maybe that will see some of the focus
97.
subconsciously drift for Bialecki. He's actually improved, but Hogan will battle away. Every leg matters, every match matters, but
137.
Doesn't really affect him. He's going to go through. He's going to be in second place.
$94.
Hogan does have another game. In game
59.
10 against
David, you require 118.
Bialecki.
Yeah, I think he'll be sort of happier to be in that game with both players through. Right now it feels like he's turned up to the wrong party, doesn't it?
It does indeed, and he's just perhaps was past his bedtime, maybe, I don't know.
David, you require 24.
Double 6 here then.
Game shot on a second leg. David Davies.
A 2-zip lead, but Hogan won't worry just yet. He now has
Third
the
leg.
darts.
It's Paul to throw first. Game on.
Hold throw here. He can then be a big problem to Davies from there.
121. $135. 140. $94.
Well, he's going about his business in a good fashion here, David Davies, playing well.
100. $92. Poorly require 140.
We're looking for a ton here, minimum requirement. Double 16.
108.
He's right on the wire. Davies back on 180. He'll be looking for a 140 to pressure the shot. Very difficult to get that one through.
140.
Oh, force it through the gap.
Poorly
Nicely
require
done. So
32.
pressure here on the 32 for Hogan. He's a little bit high and handsome. 24 now. Off the barrel.
Game shot on a third leg.
Nicely done. Seen that before. Been stood behind him many times, but he's done that to me. Think you've got a chance, and he just does it. And
game on.
Well, certainly no drop in intensity.
no, I thought we were going to have a Richie Burnett moment there where he went off and talked to the speaker.
David Davies just needs to keep his head. Carry on doing what he was doing for the first half of this game. In
95.
fact, for most of the night, really, he's been pretty unfortunate to find himself in this position, but at least it is still in his hands. A reminder, if you are just tuning in, David Davies, David
81.
Evans and Jordan Matthews in 3rd, 4th and 5th place, battling it out for the final spot of finals night, all of them on 4 points. If David Davies wins this game, he is through.
44.
If he loses a match, he's out, and the other two will have a straight shootout to make it.
He would like to get it done now while it's in his hands.
Paul Hogan doesn't have to worry. He's already through. Along with Sebastian Bialecki, he'll play him in the last match of the night.
Yeah, Hogan, the king of the qualifiers, has qualified, so he's all safe and good.
97.
Should have expected no different.
He might put some pressure on here.
100. David, you require 129.
Might have been slightly wiser to go for the 18s in his last dart of the previous visit, just because 130
93
means he can get the
Ball
treble
require
single either way around.
128.
Needs a treble 20. Doesn't get it, so Davis with a big opportunity here to put a buffer between himself
David,
and his
you require
opponent.
36. Game shot on a 4th flag. David Davies.
Big dart. Big dart. Big leg. And he does put that gap between himself and Paul Hogan. He knows even if he loses this leg, he will have the darts in the one that follows to secure qualification and that final spot at finals night.
60. $140. $100. $140. $125. 60.
Just as Davies feels like he's edging closer, Hogan
100.
gets himself down
David,
to a
you
makeable
require
finish.
161.
So not to go this time.
41. Paulie require 116.
Nice marker to use. Can he use it? No, he's just above.
60. David, you require 120.
So David Davis will get 2 stabs at the treble 20. That one's a little bit of a blocker. Tried to go around the side, and I think the look on his face showed exactly what was going through his mind at that time.
60. Paulie require 56.
Does not want any more drama. Does not want trouble. But he's going to get it.
Flag,
yeah, and Hogan's got himself back into this game. David Davis has the throw, is the all-important thing here.
First. Game on.
You have to feel that this is his biggest and best chance to seal qualification here
95.
with this leg.
And he's playing well. He'd be really disappointed if he doesn't win this match. Of course he will be out, but he's averaging around 94.
100.
Just been moments at the end of legs when he's missed opportunities, not just missing doubles, but on approach as well. And now he might just be gripping every dart that little bit tighter.
60.
Knowing the importance. Paul Hogan can play with total freedom.
$140.
There'll be some very interesting watchers in the back room, in the players' room.
140.
At this one.
Yeah, if Davis wins this, the next match doesn't matter.
140.
For Evans and Matthews, apart from jostling for position and that extra little bit of prize money. But in terms of qualifying, their chances will be gone. But if Hogan can turn it around, then that game will be a straight
98.
Saturday shootout.
Paulie require 121.
So they will be willing this 1-2-1 to go in, and it's not going to go in.
$89. David, you require 108.
And if this goes in, David Davis is through.
$91.
I think that showed what a big dart
32.
that was. And David Davis's evening.
Game shot on a 6th leg. Paul Hogan.
Hogan needs no second opportunities.
7th and final leg. It's Paul to throw first.
It's been a good
on.
game, good standard for the situation. Annoyingly for David Davis, Paul Hogan's lifted his level in the match
92.
as well. But now Hogan has the throw to throw David Davis out of the tournament. What an opportunity that becomes for Evans
100.
and Matthews, who all of a sudden will just be in a knockout match effectively.
60. $99.
Hogan
140.
finding a couple of trebles, putting the pressure on Davis, who has to be careful.
$132.
Due care and due delivery.
127. David, you require 170.
Well, this would be the way to book his place at finals night. Even Paul Hogan was enjoying that for a moment, but now he can knock him out.
Require 82.
Yeah, is this curtains for Davies? Single 17, tops it is.
62.
A lifeline.
David, you require
for Davies.
86.
That last start of the previous visits left him in this spot, but that first start of this one has given him a great chance. One last chance.
78.
And David Davies can't take it.
Paulie
Disappointment, frustration, despair. And all he can do is hope. But his hopes
Game shot
are
on the
over
match.
at the
Paul
hands of Hogan. David Davies cannot believe it. It is another narrow defeat for David Davies. That has been the story of his campaign over the last couple of nights. Heartbreak for him. Hogan is through. He already was, but he's pinched that one at the end, and it is a total disaster for David Davies, who, even though he currently sits in third place in the table, cannot stay there, because the match coming next between David Evans and Jordan Matthews is a straight shootout to see who replaces him and who is the final player through to finals night. Do not go anywhere on this dramatic night. What a huge match about to take place here at the Modus Super Series between two players who have struggled through Group B. David Evans and Jordan Matthews occupying the bottom two spots, but one of them will qualify. Whoever wins this game will leapfrog David Davies into third place, and after that agonising defeat to Paul Hogan, he will go home and one of the bottom two will go through. Hogan already through. Sebastian Bialecki won the group, But it's all about this match now to see who joins them. Will it be Evans, who's been under the weather over the last couple of nights? Or will it be Matthews, the debutant, who has just managed to pull out a couple of results? One tonight when he beat Paul Hogan in the last leg decider, one last night when he beat David Davies. If he can get a second win here, he will be in finals night at his first visit to the Live Lounge.
Yeah, and how unusual is it to go through with 3 wins in Group B?
First leg, it's David to throw first. Game on.
Evans should be favourite. He has the darts. $100. 42. 26. Well, nothing can be said here, told here from the early exchanges, other than it's a little bit of a nervy affair.
And that's been in keeping
62.
with how it's been for both players in this group. You wouldn't have expected it from Evans. We've since learned that he did feel a little unwell yesterday. Look, tonight he's played better, but he hasn't had better
96.
outcomes.
58.
But you could see when David Davies left the stage, you knew exactly what had just happened. He could not believe it. I'm sure he's inconsolable right now.
139. 79. David, you require 140. 44. 140. David, you require 96.
Oh, 18. He's done already this tonight.
Game shot on the first leg.
Yeah,
David
and you
Evans.
can see Evans knows. He knows it's all on this.
Second leg, it's Jordan to throw first.
We were discussing on Wednesday about how there's always somebody in the back room that's crouched over the computer having a look and working out the leg difference
44.
and who, where, whys and wherefores. Because I think the best thing to do is to get
58.
on with it. Not take too much, keep going up there and trying to win games is what I try to do when I'm out there. Somebody starts coming to me,
60.
you need 2 legs here or 1 leg here. I'm like, oh, just put my fingers in my ears.
Sounds like a game of Twister, Scott.
Yeah, very much so.
82.
And again, I know you'll say for each player it's all about themselves. I don't really care who they're playing, but
60.
Jordan Matthews, if he does manage to sneak through to finals night, he'll be the big outsider. For David Evans, if he's at full fitness and health tomorrow night, he will be a
57.
danger only in that field.
Yeah, we've seen some really good stuff off him in the past, and we've seen some good stuff off him in the
58.
past here.
He's come close before to winning on that stage. In fact, he was part of the original lineup for the online league when it first started during the lockdown period, people playing from home, and he was electrifying then.
Yeah, I played him a few times from home, and
21.
I just couldn't get near him. Couldn't get near him at times. He was just virtually unplayable. He was so, so good.
$100.
Well, this would be a reward for a hard
80.
week's work for David
You
Evans.
require 144.
He's got 2 visits here to get the early break. Relieve a bit of pressure.
60.
Yeah, you'd have to go to bed tonight and relax, wouldn't you? Have a nice lie-in in the morning.
58. David, you require
It's quite surprising
84.
how when you make the finals night from a late night slot like this, the next day passes you by pretty quickly, and before you know it, you're back in here.
Game shot on a
Nice
second leg.
84
David
there
Evans.
from David Evans. That was for a breaker throw.
Third leg, it's David to throw first. Game on.
Let's not forget as well, the way things have gone for David Davies in the last 2 games he's played, missing match darts to win
100.
both of them, have gone the other way for David Evans. He had to survive match darts against Davies in his previous match and then watch Davies miss match darts against Paul
60.
Hogan as well. He could have been out after losing his first 2 matches.
He sure could. That's Mace. Chris Mason says,
140.
it's a game of opportunity that absolutely breaks your heart.
60. $100.
A reminder, the winner of this match is through to finals night, joining Paul Hogan and Sebastian Bialecki from this group. Joining Lee Cox, the Group A winner.
David, you require 161.
Tommy Lishman, the Group C winner. And David Wazuski, the runner-up this afternoon.
137. $58. David, you require 24. Game shot on a third leg. David Evans.
Yeah, clenched fist from Evans there. He knows he's nearly done the job.
Fourth leg. It's Jordan to throw first. Game on. $140. $60. $45. $100.
Well, when it's mattered here, Evans has been able to deliver. But we have seen games turn around. We saw the last game
44.
turn around. We saw the game turn around between Matthews and Hogan when he was 3-1 behind in that one. Can he find a spark?
100. $85. $96. $81. David, you require 145. $87. Jordan, you require 106.
So Evans leaves himself on a simple 2-darter. Matthews cannot get a dart at anything.
56.
So it looks
David,
like
you
Evans
require
then.
58.
This is the big number. 1 dart at tops.
Game shot.
He takes
and the
it.
match,
So it's David Evans in the winner-takes-all match. He goes through to the Saturday night's final. Wry smile there from Jordan Matthews. The moment probably got him there on his debut. But how nice is that? The camaraderie in the back room. It's David Evans. He gets through to our Saturday night final 4-0 in what is a really big game. Jordan Matthews says his goodbyes. But David Evans goes through to Saturday night. We're going to head into a short break. And on return, we will have a chat with the guy who has just qualified for the Saturday night final, David Evans.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Line.
They've both got the talent where they just reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. What a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
Well, what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only
needs the one.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What are you saying about efficiency?
Shot on the third leg.
Is that the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Smith, is it
Darius
a
Labanowski.
9? A long time. And that clenched fist.
Game shot.
Oh, he gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Just
Darius
like that.
Labanowski.
only needs the one. And there you can see.
That she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great dive.
Shot on the first leg. Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
Shot on the second leg.
Consecutive breaker throw. Double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where I'm joined by a very relieved David Evans. David, it's been an interesting couple of nights. Just sum up how you feel after getting through in the end.
Getting through in the end is a great feeling because yesterday I was not feeling well at all. I don't know what it was, probably something I ate, but still not feeling 100% today, but managed to get through. That's the main thing.
Started tonight a lot better, but still ended up losing your first couple of games, and then it was kind of in other people's hands. What is it like, sort of being in the practice room, watching the screen, and sort of getting other people or hoping other people do the job for you?
It's horrible. I mean, you want to do it yourself. You don't want to have to rely on other people to have to do it for you. But fortunate for me, it happened that way today. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but you know, it had to happen that way, and unfortunately, apologies to Dave Davis and Jordan, but that's the way it had to go today.
Yeah, David Davis in particular. I mean, you must, even though you're through and that's what it's all about, you must feel a little bit for him. He missed those match darts to eliminate you. He then missed match darts to put himself through against Paul Hogan. The human being in you and the dart player, you must feel for him a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, Dave Davis, he's one of the greatest, not the greatest, like friends, dart players. He's a good dart player, great friend as well. So, to have him not be in Saturday because of that situation, it's tough to take, but it's like I say, I've got to do my job. I've done my job to win that last game to get myself through. So, you know, I do feel for him, but yeah, I've still got a job to do.
Yeah, you've made it through in various different ways now. This is probably the most gruelling and sort of difficult. But look, Saturday, it's a fresh start, isn't it? You've been there before. What's the plan between now and then?
Just a bit of relaxation. Finish here now. Go back to the apartment I'm staying at. Chill out, a bit of food, and relax. Ready for tomorrow. Have a bit of practice, and then get ready for tomorrow.
Well done. Get that rest. We will see you tomorrow. He is going through with Paul Hogan and Sebastian Bialecki, who are about to play the final match of the evening. I'll hand you back to Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Murph. It's we come to our last game of the night, we'll say, here at the Super Series. And it's our table topper, Sebastian Bialecki, who has 7 out of 7 in this group. Both he and Hogan kind of secured their passage to Saturday night finals night.
Game on.
Early doors. I'm not sure, when we looked at the fixtures yesterday, this had a potential of being one to who goes through top and who goes through second. Well, they've decided that between themselves before they've got to this match. It's kind of a bit of a dead rubber.
140.
And so I'm expecting an exciting game where the gloves are off and they both just go for it.
140.
I know Angela, Paul's wife, will be here now with the car. And the dog, probably, waiting for Hoagie to finish this evening. Or this morning.
93. $60. Sebastian, you require 128.
The corresponding fixture yesterday to this one was a 4-1 win for Sebastian.
88. $100. Sebastian, you require 40.
10s is then for Bialecki.
Game shot on the first leg.
Moves
Sebastian
across the
Bialecki.
hockey. Nicely done. Opens up the angle. Hits his desired
Second
target.
leg. It's Paul to throw
1-0
first.
to Sebastian Bialecki.
Yeah, he's played at a good standard all week, hasn't he? And I think he'll go into that finals night as a real danger. I'm going to be very interested, Scott, to see how the odds compilers price it up, because Lee Cox, David Evans,
108.
Sebastian Bialecki and Tommy Lishman all played in that Group A and were only separated by 4 points. Lishman has performed really well in Group C. David Wazowski not too shabby either. And Bialecki has been dominant in this group. He might even go in as favourite.
Yeah, there's a good possibility of that. He really did have a bit of a stinker on Monday and managed to get himself into this Group B sort of like halfway through Tuesday, and a good run on Wednesday did Sebastian.
140. $60.
Was gracious of David Evans just to accept his good fortune, really, and
100.
express his
Sebastian, you require 161.
commiserations to David Davies.
Yeah, David Evans has always been an honest guy.
Scraped through is what he said on camera. He was a bit stronger off camera, Scott.
111.
he will be hoping he hasn't had all his lady luck here this evening, that's for sure.
91.
Hogan can't hit top, so
Sebastian, you
Bialecki will
require
take aim
71.
at 71.
Treble 13, it's his desired route. 18 will leave double top. And
Game
out
shot on
it
a
goes.
second leg, Sebastian Bialecki.
Back-to-back 15s.
Third leg, it's Sebastian to throw
Those
first.
of you that follow darts will know that 15 and 15 means 100 average. 100.2 to be exact.
29.
Not now, with the 29 score.
140.
Well, let us know in the chat. We know the 6 that are going to be there. Let us know in the chat who you think will be winning tomorrow night. I think it's one of the really
60.
even, open finals nights. The field, there's not much between any of the players.
Henry and I said this right
60.
at the start on Monday morning in our opening chat for the week. It was a very difficult one to try and say who was going to win. We knew that it was going to be a very even week. And it's how it's turned out to be. And I think it could all be dictated by who gets off to the better start tomorrow in the finals night. Who starts to clamp their authority early doors on it.
105.
Well, a couple of suggestions in the chat.
60.
Bialecki
Sebastian,
will
you
win
require
tomorrow. Someone else says he will be the
167.
favourite, but pulling for Wazowski.
Yeah, he was impressive
60.
right from the
Paulie
get-go
Maguire,
yesterday, and that didn't
141.
surprise me that he qualified.
One person in here saying Lee Evans will win it. You are a comedian, aren't you?
97. Sebastian, you require 107.
Bialecki just trying to showcase why he may well be the man to beat.
99. Paulie require 44. Game shot on a third leg, Paul Hogan.
So break a throw
Fourth leg, it's Paul
from
to throw
Hogan
first.
there.
Game on.
He's trying to be the first to defeat Sebastian here in Group B.
100.
Yeah, and it would be a little jab, wouldn't it, going into that finals night tomorrow? Just something to
96.
dent the Bialecki confidence.
Yeah, it'd be a little reminder.
They won't be in the same group, of course,
38.
having finished first and second in this group, so next meeting would be in a semi or a final. We will give you the full group breakdown at the end of tonight's
46.
action. Don't go anywhere.
$100. $134. $135.
Element of risk staying there. Had to hit the treble 20 to leave a shot. Otherwise, yes, he would have been on a hoagie bogey.
95. Paulie require 128.
Go on then, do a rhyme for Bialecki.
39. Sebastian, you require 130. Game shot on the fourth
No
flag.
pros
Sebastian
needed.
Bialecki.
That's beautiful by Bialecki. It shows Hogan who's boss.
Fifth flag. It's Sebastian to throw first. Game on.
It's actually quite bizarre that such has been the sort of ordinariness
140.
of him winning all his matches that we're not raving about him winning the group without losing a game. It's just kind of looked normal, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's kind of
64.
gone under the radar a little bit, bossed the group, got himself out top. And we've kind of been ignoring him because of the battles down the lower end of the
85.
table.
Jack in the chat asking how the groups are decided for finals night. Well, Group 1, Jack is
59.
the Group A winner and the 2 runners-up from the other groups. And then, well, you can work out the rest, can't you?
Yeah, all the rest are in the other one.
140.
We will confirm those for you after this game. And Bialecki will hope to win it in style. It would be a fitting way
53.
for him to crown the Group B
Sebastian Uruguay,
campaign.
136. $60. $100. Sebastian Uruguay, 76.
Double top. And
Game
Sebastian
shot. And the match,
Bialecki
Sebastian
completes
Bialecki.
a perfect campaign in Group B. Bolts fires through to finals night without losing a match over the last couple of nights. A fantastic display to seal the deal, an average of 96, 4 out of 6 on the doubles, including that brilliant bullseye checkout to complete the 130 combination. No harm done for Hogan. He goes through in second. It was David Evans who scraped through in third. And myself and Scott Mitchell will reflect on all of the action and let you know the groups for tomorrow's finals after this short break. Well, we now know the 6 players battling it out for the trophy. Some got there more serenely than others, didn't they, Scott? An interesting group we've just witnessed.
Yeah, well, usually at this stage of the evening, we were sort of looking at who's going to go through and who's going to battle through at the top. And it was all about the bottom end of the table this evening, which made it very interesting.
It certainly was. Let's reflect on the results from tonight. As the evening went on, it became apparent that there's going to be a battle between the bottom 3 players, and you have to feel for a certain David Davies, who went down 4-3 to David Evans, went down 4-3 to Paul Hogan, and mismatched darts in both of those games. Had any of them gone in, he would be through.
Yeah, just one of those horrible nights for him. They take some getting over as well. You know, it's a disappointment when you don't make the Saturday night, and sometimes you haven't made it, and you know you haven't done enough to make it. Tonight he's had a few chances there to make it, and it just hasn't happened for him. And as you can see, the frustration there each time. It's just horrible to be there as a player, and horrible as a player like myself to be commentating on.
Yeah, absolutely devastated, you can see. And then he turns to see Hogan has hit that double, and he's just inconsolable, distraught, destroyed, really. And then it went down to the next game between David Evans and Jordan Matthews, neither of whom would have played anywhere near They Know They Can. Yeah, Evans somehow scrapes through.
Yeah, and poor old David Davies has sat there with like a brilliant leg difference, but not the points on the board to go with it.
Yeah, and as for David Evans, though, I mean, we've spoken about him. He was actually the favourite to win this group before a dart was thrown. He's had his own battle, hasn't he, with illness over the last couple of nights. So, look, he's been through and won nearly every game in the group and not won a Saturday. Could we see the complete reverse where he scraped through and then goes and wins it tomorrow?
I see no reason why not. I mean, sometimes you need that confidence to go through, but sometimes you can be overconfident. I don't think he's going to attempt it as an overconfidence thing this time. I think he's going to be a little bit more like, well, I'm lucky to be there. I've kind of scraped myself through. He said it in his interview. I'm lucky to be there. Is that going to give him an element of freedom to throw with no pressure whatsoever?
Yeah, Paul Hogan was already through at the time that he got that win against Davies. He's done the job that we expect him to do, but we can't let this conversation pass without giving full credit to Sebastian Bialecki, who has gone through this campaign flawlessly.
Yeah, he has, and I said it earlier in commentary, he started a little bit dodgy in Group A at the start of the week, but he's just gone into this week, grown into the week, got better and better and better. And that last game there, 96 average again. You know, it's late at night. There was nothing really on it, but he's still putting the hammer down, and he goes in with the momentum, I believe.
Yeah, he wins the group, winning all of his matches, Sebastian Bialecki. Runner-up, Paul Hogan. Third place, David Evans. They join the qualifiers from the other groups earlier this week. Two of those players, by the way, hitting 9-dart finishers. And we can now show you which groups they will be in tomorrow night. So Group 1 features Lee Cox, a Group A winner, Paul Hogan and David Wazowski. And in Group 2, David Evans, Sebastian Bialecki and Tommy Lishman. Interesting that the two London teammates are both in that Group 1.
Yeah, and they've been at the London Super League Presentation Awards tonight. So together, probably having a little look on their phones at what was going on this evening. But yeah, for them both being in the same group, difficult one for them.
Who's your favourite? Who do you think is going to be walking away with the trophy on Saturday evening?
Do you know what? I think it's a tough one. Obviously, Seb has really impressed tonight. Wazzy impressed me in Group C, and of course, well, Coxie went through Group A and managed to get over the line and limp over the line, but he got there. So probably they're my three favourites.
Farmers and fencers once again. We'll see you tomorrow, Scott. Thanks for your company this evening. Thanks for your company as well. It's been a really dramatic end to this group. Sparrow fought for David Davies, but Evans, Hogan and Bialecki go through to the Super Series Super Saturday, which gets underway from 7:30, and we will see a new weekly winner crowned. We'll see you then.